Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Well, just because I can, and I continue with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I'm back here at Yavin Station to do some trading, mainly to check if the guy has any new items and also sell him my items, because he has the best margins for me. I was wondering when you would want to talk again. What brings you here next time? Do you have anything you would be willing to sell me? Okay, so that's it, I guess. I will play a couple of hands of PAZAAK, see how I do. I'll give you a discount on anything in my store. Special deal just for you. Have a look. Okay. So I don't exactly get much money out of that business, but I'm going to get a discount which is going to be useful later on, because it's a quite expensive merchant overall. Interested in more PAZAAK? Sure, if you want. You've already proven that I'm no match for you. But if you want a few free games just to play... Oh, free games? Okay, I'm not interested in free games. Okay, let's go. Oh, suit yourself. I'll probably be here if you get back.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
Craft me a security spy.
No problem. Just so happens I've got one here I've been working on. Here you go. I'll just add it to our inventory. Anything else you need?
I want to talk to you about your brother.
Don't tell me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story is Bantha Poodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Circa Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again.
We'll find your brother, Mission.
I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do.
Yeah, what do you want?
Can you give me some stimulants?
Hey, don't worry. I think you've got enough there as it is. You don't want to overload yourself on stims. Otherwise you might destroy your adrenal system. A real warrior knows his own limits and doesn't overestimate himself. There anything else you need?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements.
What was your story?
I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle.
I didn't think Mandalorians got afraid.
Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below.
You dropped from the orbit, riding a droid?
The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life.
Well, that's pretty horrible, especially because I assume that was another one of your wars of conquest.
I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now. But I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Is there something you want? I want you to make me a grenade. I've got a bunch already. Really don't want those things banging around together. Use some up first. Have anything to say about yourself? You have seen more than I would have allowed, and taught me some things too. I am grateful for that. It'll be a while before I know what my role will be in making Kashyyyk truly free. I have a lot to learn. Why did you request to take back a sword? I'm not sure I really know. Father expects so much of me. I guess I do as well. I think when I learned enough, I'll bring it back to Kashyyyk. What happens then, we'll see. I'm sorry we couldn't stay on Kashyyyk longer. You and I have important things to do, and I don't feel bad about leaving now. Leaving this time. I know I'll be welcomed back. Okay, I wish you well. I will follow.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
What do you know about this world?
How may I be of...
Nothing, apparently.
How may I be of assistance?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Tell me more about your past.
Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating.
Invigorating?
They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In the I can see it was
tragic?
Yes. The Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished while fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods.
The Jedi are not gods. If that was the case, they seem to be misinterpreting themselves.
I was merely using poetic license. Those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long.
What happened?
The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations.
All species are capable of intolerance.
Yes. But humans seem the most pervasive, the most consistent. They took their frustrations and hates out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no, but I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that.
Well, as long as you do not let your anger influence you.
Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again. Yes. What is it?
Is something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
What is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
And what was it?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside. Trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Tatooine.
What are you saying?
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastila. Taris, my homeworld.
What? I actually didn't know you were from Taris. I am sorry, Juhani. I did not know.
If it were not for you and Bastila, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastila. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood.
Well...
Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
Well, I am sorry there was no way to prevent it.
I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
It will be alright, Juhani.
Yes. Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
Got something on your mind, dude?
Can you make a healing kit for me?
Well, I suppose I could whip up something, a few herbs and such. Do know that the best alternative is not to get hurt, right? Well, not to say that you go leaping into the path of blaster fire or anything, but I know how you young people get. Here, take it. Got something on your mind, dude?
Why did you decide to come with me?
You got yourself a fast little ship. I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful.
So you wanted to ride on my ship?
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
If you don't want to answer the question, old man, just say so.
How impatient can one person be? You must have driven your mother mad. All that gurgling and fussing. Babies are cute, but annoying. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha.
Well, you're avoiding the question.
So I am. Tell you what, when you get to be my age, you can go ahead and answer any question you like to. You have my permission. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
I never heard of him.
No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
Is there supposed to be a hidden meaning in this?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
How did you know?
Swirling force, remember? Jedi here. Granted, I was just interpreting the signs, but we get trained in that sort of thing, more or less. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
You're kidding.
Everyone panics and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
How can you even be sure? But what does that have to do with you coming with me?
Well, hey, the chances may not be great, but when one has the opportunity to see something like that twice in a lifetime... Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
So what you're telling me is... You have a suspicion I might have a great destiny that will influence things in a major way. And you want to be part of that.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Do you want to talk? You got pretty upset the last time we spoke.
I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the battle over Taris. And now the Jedi have us looking for these star maps. I know this mission is important, it's just, I feel a bit useless. I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league.
Well, why don't you return to the front lines then?
Because this is more important. This may really finally make a difference. I suppose even if I can't figure out everything that's going on, I still want to help if I can. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I?
Well, don't worry about it, Garth.
No, I do worry about it. I've traveled the lanes more than once. I should know better than this. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
Well, only if you agree to work with me for once.
Done. Let's get underway then, shall we, partner?
How can I help?
You wanted to speak to me?
Yes, I did. I wanted to speak to you about our mission and what lies ahead for us. It seems fate, or the Force, is driving us into a confrontation with the Dark Lord. You must prepare yourself for when we face Malak. The confrontation will be difficult for you. I remember how hard it was when I first faced Revan.
Is it true that you killed him?
It's true that due to my battle meditation, I was with the Jedi strike team that boarded Revan's ship. We did not kill Revan, however.
But killing Revan is what you're famous for.
Our mission was to capture Revan if possible. It was Malak who turned on his own master, firing upon Revan's ship while we were still on boarded. It was his desire to kill us and his master both. Thankfully, we narrowly escaped the vessel as it exploded.
So Malak did the job for you. But you would have killed Revan eventually, right?
As I said, we were there to capture Revan alive. The Jedi do not believe in killing their prisoners. No one deserves execution, no matter what their crimes. Remember that Revan and Malak were once great Jedi, heroes in every sense of the word. They demonstrate the danger of the dark side to us all. I'm sorry, we really shouldn't speak of this anymore. The memory of my confrontation with Revan is painful. Let's return to the mission, please.
Okay, I'll travel to Tatooine this time. Desert canyons, native species, Jawas, sand people, docking, Anchorhead settlement.
another vision. The Force is guiding us, helping us retrace the steps of Malak and his old master, leading us ever closer to the Star Forge. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes.
It looked like it was inside some kind of a cave.
The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
I'll take Bastila and Mission because the Mission's brother is supposed to be on Tatooine.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this.
What do I get for my 100 credits?
The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses.
Sure, I'll pay.
I thought you would. Without these fees, Zerka Corporation would have closed this port years ago. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure?
Give me some background on Tatooine.
There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look.
Tell me about Zerka Corporation's operations here.
I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it.
Come on, let me in on the details.
It's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company.
So Zerka set up shop on a barren planet.
Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business.
What do you mean when you say the ore is peculiar?
Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it.
What other forms of business are being looked at here?
Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however.
What is known about the history of this planet?
Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals.
What species do you mean?
The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate.
Have you had trouble with the Sand People?
Not personally, but they've given Zerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it.
Where can I get any other sentient races?
The Jawas are scavengers and a bit primitive. Hard to understand. They have an affinity for droids. Some of our scientists believe that they may not be native to the planet. But how they got here, they may not even know. As I said, they're hard to understand. They usually end up slaves to the Sand People. They aren't fighters. Good traders, though.
Okay. Where should a person look for opportunity?
It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in Central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them.
Okay. I am looking for a very specific thing. Who should I ask?
That's not much information. Could you tell me more?
I'm looking for older things, antiques, artifacts.
You a digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by Sand People soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know.
Okay, actually I really need to get going.
As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
I'll get advanced Jedi defense.
Yes?
Huh?
I'm here.
Yes?
There's some reason you don't move along?
Tatooine's a dust bowl, and that's...
Hello there, Captain. Let's see. Here it is. Looks like the shipment has been delivered to your ship, as requested. What shipment? What are you talking about? This is docking bay 32, isn't it? Yes, it is. And that's what I have here, on this requisition form. Everything seems to be in order. The Gizka are your problem now. Excuse me, did you say Gizka? It says right here that you ordered a crate of Gizka to be delivered to the docking bay 32. That's right here. Now, all I need is your thumbprint for a... Wait a second, where did the datapad go? At any rate, the Gizka are yours. One of the loaders said the crate split open once they put it in your hold. Some of the critters might have gotten loose. That happens, I'm afraid. We don't accept liability, and we certainly can't take the cargo back. Enjoy. Who is that? Turn it, you Gunda Faska. Customers are talking. That's better. Hello, customer. Buy from Mictuna Juice and save your credits. Yes, save, because you never know when situation turns all around. Look at Zerka. We hear, well, things are not well on the outpost Kashyyyk. We sure you know. I want to ask some questions. You're here to serve. What do you need to know? Heard any off-world rumors? Just what everyone else talks about. Taris and the Sith, and the stirring of change. Could be good for business or could be bad for business. All that we know is that wise people keep low and stay out of the way. Something to always remind the other half, if you have one. What do you know about Tatooine? Not as much as we should. If we knew more, we would have better business. Travelers like us best. Settlers don't have much to trade. We don't travel far on Tatooine itself, you see. The weather is not like our home. Too dry, way too dry. Who should I ask for more information? Always trust the locals, even if they don't trust you. They are the ones who really knows what's going on. That's true on any world. I want to ask about you. Mictuna Juice is just a humble merchant from the Rim. What would you wish to know about we? Are you one creature or two? You are pardoned for asking because you only have one mind, or at least only one at a time. We are one now, but weren't always. We grow together, bonded from the age of choosing when we become whole. Not like you. You are half of what you should be. Like a brood squealer. Not that we want to offend you. We don't want to lose any business. That is just the way of us, Pearduag. Your other half doesn't say much. Just because you can't hear it, it doesn't mean it isn't there. Where do you come from? You couldn't say it, you don't have the ears for it. Two voices create the name, and two ears hear it. We suppose the trade lanes have to call us something. With one mouth, the world is Sorius, far off the Permian trade route. It is unimportant stop, we admit. We left for a life of trade, because we are strong and a good talker. We have done well. Okay, that's actually pretty fascinating. Because he said they grow up as two different creatures, and then they bond for life, you know, in the literal sense. So I guess they are mates. Like, they have literally become whole. That's a cool idea for an alien, because for them, we are all disabled. We are all just half of a whole. You know, people sometimes poetically call their loved ones their other half, but in this case it's literal. That's cool. Other questions? Okay, I mostly just want to trade. Yes, of course. Okay, I will buy... I have a lot of money, actually. Yosani's brand melee weapons. Jamo Horgas carabine. Mandalorian heavy repeater is what Kandarus currently uses, I think. Awareness +4, will +3. Breath mask. Saves all +3. Dexterity +1. Interesting. Banta fodder. This is a highly pungent mixture of local plants and fungus. Bantas apparently find it irresistible, though it's doubtful any intelligent species would willingly call it food. I'll buy it for later, possibly. There's also Giska poison, but I don't necessarily want to exterminate all of those creatures. Maybe I'll manage to get some way to get them off the ship without killing them. I will buy all of those. And some of those. I don't really want that carabine, so there's nothing else at this merchant that I would want necessarily.
No more supplies have been ordered for the Zerka outposts on Kashyyyk. Doesn't sound like economic restructuring to me. No more supplies have been ordered for the Zerka outposts on Kashyyyk. Doesn't sound like economic restructuring to me.
The raids and the crawlers hardly make a dent. The mines are falling anyway. Anchorhead, sure different than what they said when I was recruited. Can't make a life here.
Zerka is claiming that their operation on Kashyyyk has become too costly to maintain. Sounds like a cover-up to me.
Please, will you help me? I have nothing. Nothing left.
What do you need? I'm never droll. If I can help, I'll help if I can.
Oh, thank you. I don't have anywhere else to turn. If you're down and out on Tatooine, you're on your own. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to PAZAAK without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare.
What is a weird plate? Where did you get it?
It's the bone plate from the head of the desert raid. My husband was so proud when he found it. He had just started hunting. He said he felt sure the next hunt would bring in more, so we waited to sell this one. Then he never came back.
Let's talk about what to do with this plate.
Will you buy it? I can't sell it myself. They're worth more than 500 credits.
Well, I will buy it from you. Worst case scenario, treat it as a donation.
You will? Oh, thank you so much. Please, I know it's worth at least 500 credits.
I'll pay that and an extra 200. Good luck.
700 credits. Oh, thank you. It is more than generous of you. I don't know what to say. I just don't.
Wow. Sometimes helping people feels pretty good, you know?
Thank you for helping this woman. It may not seem like such a great thing to you, but you are making a difference.
For whatever it means, may the Force be with you. You saved us.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I do have a lot of money, so, you know, isn't a problem for me. Hello, human. Are you a hunter like the others? Not the life for me, but I admire you for it. What do you do? Well, heard any rumors from off planet? Nothing since the unfortunate business on Taris. The Republic is reeling from that, as we are all. It is troubling, but you can't let that call a stop to your day. We've survived worse and will again. It's just the way of things. Can I ask you about Tatooine? Oh, I doubt I could tell you more than the rest of those fellows. I haven't set a foot outside Anchorhead. and I don't know why anyone would want to. Tatooine isn't a very hospitable place. I'll be going as soon as parts for my ship arrive. It may take some time though. What do you do? I fill days with games of PAZAAK. Not that there's many people to play with, but a person should keep busy somehow. I'll play with that fellow in the cantina, but I find him distasteful. He does not play for the same reasons I do. And why do you play? For the sport of it. Even if I lose, there is a reward in having played for the best of my ability. I don't dwell on the credits taken or given. To most people the game is simply gambling, but I choose to get more out of it than that. Not many players see it my way. Let's have a game. I am up for it. I haven't played you before, so let's start slow, low wagers, just to see how we measure up. Bet what you wish. I prefer the sport to the reward. Well, that's a bit of a bad luck, my friend. Sorry about your loss. It was a good sport though. I don't want you to get jaded about your performance. I see a lot of players quit too soon. Your choice, of course. I will play him until he plays no more. So you might get some sort of a bonus. Very good. You played quite well on that hand. I am impressed. I don't mind losing when the game is skillfully won. Obviously you have some ability and I'm glad for the competition. We could play some more and perhaps later we could raise the stakes. You're shaping up to be a fine competitor. I hope you keep playing and begin to see the long-term rewards of the game, like I do. I think he's kind of done. See what the way. Very good. You've played quite well on that hand, I am impressed. I don't mind losing when the game was skillfully won. You're shaping up to be a fine competitor. I hope you keep playing and begin to see the long-term rewards of the game, like I do. You did well last time. I'm glad I found someone to offer decent competition here. There's not much elsewhere here to interest me. Feel free to bet an interesting amount. It can add to the thrill of the game. I think that's kinda it. Well, I have to say that you have proven a masterful player. I have to reward you, if only for the sport you've given me. Credits are a hollow prize for such good play. Here, you've earned this. It's a trinket that I won in the Tatooine sector. Thanks, I appreciate it. I hope so. You played well, and you should keep it. Anything else? Well, no. Safe way. Wayfarer. So, what is it that I got, actually? I don't actually know what it is that I got, but still. Guess the most important thing is that I got it.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it?
I'm looking for experts. You seem knowledgeable.
Oh, of course. Who put you up to this, my wife? I meant what I said about having no credits.
I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best?
Who knows the planet? I don't know. I guess the sand people. I'm usually running when I see them, though.
What about the Jawas?
Smart traders. They've salvaged and sold me my own damaged droids once or twice. They don't say much I can understand. I think they're a little slow, but who am I to judge, huh?
Have you ever seen the Sand People with anything odd?
Sure. My blood. They almost got me last year. Tore up 2 of my battle droids. Wife was mad about that. Took her weeks to fix. Where they got weapons to cut battle armor, I don't know. They act like animals, but they can surprise you.
Where did this happen?
I don't know. Pick a dune and walk. They'll get you soon enough.
I want to ask who are you and what it is you do.
Well, my name is Taris, and what I do is hunt. I'm sure you've heard of me. Well, actually, I hope you haven't.
How long have you been at this?
Too long. But it beats smuggling. You ever run into a Sith dreadnought in the desert? No, you haven't.
You crossed paths with a Sith dreadnought?
Hell, I married her. No, seriously now. I had this friend that crossed Sith space and got stripped of everything. It's not like I have much now, I guess, but I still prefer sand people to getting ambushed on unproven trade routes.
You go on about your wife a lot. What's the deal?
She doesn't understand me. You know the drill. It's not my fault. She knew who I was when she married me.
Where is the best hunting?
There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy.
You hunt with battle droids? Is that sporting?
What do I care? I need to eat. I also need to pay for parts so the wife can keep the droids running. It's all about the credits. Some guys will talk about honor and stuff, but they still sell their plates to PAZAAK. I guess honor needs creds too.
Don't you need to take more kills to keep your droids running?
I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits too.
What can you tell me about the other hunters?
Uptight and cold, like my wife. They don't like me streamlining the hunt with droids. I don't fit in, but I don't let it bug me. The Gamorreans are different. Good rowdy drinking buddies. Girk and his boys, they understand that hunting is a business. Of course they hunt other things than raid, too. Just don't turn your back on them. Ever.
What about hunters besides the Gamorreans? What are you suggesting? Taking slaves?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just keep your eyes on them, that's all.
What about the hunters besides the Gamorreans?
Dorak is reasonable. Comad is a pain, but he keeps his distance. I can tell he doesn't like me much. Ask around the lodge if you want information about the other guys. I don't really talk to them much.
Alright.
Fine, whatever you want.
I have to leave.
Good hunt.
Don't interrupt my drinking. Girk got some more patience. Go bother him. I got nothing to say to you. Maybe Girk do, but that's his business. Boys, he talks to me. What do you want, Hume? Yeah, you tell them, Girk. What if I wanted advice? I'm sure you are very smart. You're trying to get my secrets, I bet. Trying to find where I hunt? I will tell you nothing. Yeah, you get nothing. So, can I ask what you do? Girk and his boys hunt. That's what we do and that's who we are. But we don't train babies like you. Yeah, we hunt raid best out of everybody. We don't have time to train you or anyone. The other hunters say you shouldn't be trusted. What they say about us? Huh? Liars, every one of them. Shut up, stupid. Well, he said something, but I clicked over it accidentally. Why don't you let him speak? Why, are you deaf? Because he's stupid and he talks too much. You leave us alone now. I'm not stupid, you're stupid.
Oh, jeez. I hope this doesn't take too long. Gamorreans like to throw insults around, but they just don't have the smarts for it.
You are a stupid one, not me. You're too stupid to even know you're stupid. No, you're the stupid one, stupid. You're so stupid that everyone sees you and say, look at stupid. Shut up, stupid. I'm looking for something. Are you good scouts? We're the best among everybody, but not for you. We hunters know more than everybody. Yeah, go learn of the dunes yourself. Then maybe you're tough enough to talk with us. Probably not. Probably not. Bet you don't come back. Shut up, stupid. I wanted to ask questions about you and hunting. Go read a book or get a yappy droid. Girk and his boys don't train babies. Alright. Yeah, you leave. That's good. Maybe we see you out on the dunes. Maybe before you see us. Oh, so are you trying to... Are you planning on ambushing me? Dorakin.
Get lost, Tenderfoot. I hunt desert raid. I don't babysit.
Come now, I just want to benefit from your experience.
Well, you sure know how to get on my good side. You're just trotting out banthopats, but thanks all the same.
Who are you? What is it you do?
My name is Doric Quinn. I'm a hunter. I hunt. Is that enough, or should I start listing my family birthdays?
Where is best hunting?
If I knew the best place, why would I tell anyone? It would be worth too much to me to let it get out. It doesn't matter anyway. This season has been dry for me, as it has for almost everyone. Perhaps someone else is holding out, but there's simply fewer raid out there.
Why are there fewer raid?
It used to be a one-on-one test. Hunter against hunted. Now people just want the credits. I could stomach maybe a pair or a team of hunters, but some now use battle droids. Where's the sport in that?
Who uses battle droids?
That's not for me to say. I won't be a troublemaker in so small a community. You'll see. Hunt, and you will see.
How long have you been at this?
I've tracked wild beasts my whole life, but I've only been hunting here for 5 years. I've much to learn yet.
What do you want to learn?
There are hunters that go after the big kills, the crate dragons. I don't know how they do it. I never even see the things. Comad is the one I respect, but I also trust that the only difference between us is experience.
What can you tell me about the other hunters?
I don't go telling stories about other people. You want to know what they think? You go talk to them. One word though. Watch yourself around the Gamorreans. Girk and his buddies aren't to be trusted. Everyone else I respect because they have skill. Those guys, they go for easier prey.
What makes you say that?
Just watch your back when you hunt. The dragons aren't the only dangers out there.
Alright.
If that's what you want, I'm not sure what you hope to get out of me though.
I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best?
You'll have to ask around. Comad Fortuna is a much more experienced hunter than I am. He hunts far from Anchorhead. The local Jawas are a good source of information, even if it is hard to understand them. It may cost you, though.
Okay, goodbye.
Good hunting.
Yes, is there something you wish, human? Information, if I could trouble such a worthy hunter for a moment. Just a few questions, is that alright? I see no harm in it. There are hours yet before I get back to the dunes. I'm looking for something. Who knows this planet best? No one will return your questions. To truly know the dunes, you have to live there, as the Sand people do. Only they truly explore the land, but they attack without debate, if you see them at all. What about the Jawas? The Jawas may know the land well, but are more interested in trading than talking. They scavenge. Their language is difficult. If you can get anything more than the price of a droid out of them, I'll be impressed. Have you ever seen the Sand people with anything odd? The Sand people carry nothing but weapons and bloodlust. To them, outsiders are invaders to be repelled. Once or twice, however, I have seen them emerge from older ruins with sacks and other containers. I've always been driven off, and if I examine the site later, there is nothing left. What kind of ruins are these? Where were they? They were old storehouses of some kind, but you couldn't find them now, human. The sand covers all. The only ones that would know where they are the Sand people, and you would have to take it by force. Finding their encampment is easy enough. Just walk south until you are attacked. Who are you? What do you do? I am Comad Fortuna, a hunter, and a member of the Lodge. It is not a life for everyone, but I am content. Where's best hunting? The best hunting is wherever the best hunter is. It's a trite answer, human, but the only one I can give. It depends on what you seek. Raid are plentiful and the spoils of the sport hunter. And are the spoils of a sport hunter. Dragons appear only to a true hunter. Patience is key. Great dragons hunt alone, and their prey is whatever catches their attention. So dragons are rare. Are they dangerous? They are both rare and dangerous, and it is an honor to hunt. If you survive, you are blessed and favored. Respect them. Some try to learn the risk by mass hunting with battle droids. I would rather hunt solo, take the risk as my own. Who uses battle droids? I will not speak of it while they live. It is their shame to admit or hide. They know the effect it has. Perhaps they will kill so many raid that they will also kill the hunt. And that perhaps, after that perhaps, the solo hunter will prosper. How long have you been at this? A decade? 2? I don't enslave myself to time, human. There is day and there is night. Chico! You don't really know anymore? Tatooine will not change in my lifetime. Why bother trying to keep up with the rolling of the years? Alright. Goodbye. Good hunting. Well, a new phase. Come to test your skills on the endless dunes of Tatooine? PAZAAK's lodge is the place to be. The world may not have much, but it does have the meanest predators on this side of the galactic rim. A hunter's paradise. You run this lodge for the hunters. This is a hunting lodge. I purchase what the sportsmen bring in. It's not a bad little job. Anything out of the ordinary happening? You mean here on Tatooine or just in general? I heard about the destruction of Taris. Don't know anything specific. I'm not surprised something like it happened. I remember the Exar Kun War and how the Sith don't have much interest in either group. Both act like they are above my concerns, and I guess they are. Know anything more local? Zerka Corporation is always complaining about the Sand people. I stay out of it. We hunt animals, not people. And I guess the Jawas are being pushed around again. At least, that's what I think they said. Tough to tell sometimes. You'll have to talk to those groups yourself if you want more. I keep to myself. I've got some questions about Tatooine. Not much to tell, barren place, can't support much, but I have managed to get off-world hunters to show up. I suppose there's trouble here, like everywhere else, but you'll have to ask someone else about that, I keep to myself. I have questions about hunting. You want to know how to get in? Just pay 200 credits for a license, down at the Zerka office. No license, no hunting. Would you consider lowering the fee? Well, that's not up to me now, is it? You'd have to talk with the people down at the Zerka office, in the center of the town. Why do I need a license? You need a license because nobody gets out of the city without one. Zerka Corporation uses it to keep track of people. They want people to know that if they step outside the gates they are on their own. Only serious hunters pay the 200 credits. Once you have obtained a license, I'll pay whatever spoils of the hunt you bring back. I have off-world buyers that take them. Okay. Alright then, just keep it brief, will you? I have something to sell you. I'm sorry, but I'm not allowed to even look at what you brought until I see a hunting license. Zerka Corporation rules. The other hunters all have theirs. I can't make an exception or I'll get shut down. Understandable. I'll be here. I keep hunters hours. PAZAAK is always open. Okay, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!